Halleck Creek is an incredible resource, not just vast in size, but as our continued drilling programs are demonstrating, it's also of very malleable materials, going to yield well to conventional processing. And also our grades are beginning to edge up as well. So all good news on that front.
Welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. Joining me now is Mel Sanderson. She is a director with American Rare Earths. And Mel, it's great to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing well, Steve. Good to see you also.
Yeah, so the company has some pretty significant news talking about sort of restructuring the way the company works, really to put a bigger emphasis, I would guess, on Halleck Creek with a new name and a new focus.
Absolutely. Well, as you well recall, and I'm sure many others do as well, Halleck Creek is an incredible resource, not just vast in size, but as our continued drilling programs are demonstrating, it's also of very malleable materials, going to yield well to conventional processing. And also our grades are beginning to edge up as well. So all good news on that front. And that good news is what prompted American Rare Earths to decide that we should actually establish Halleck Creek as a separate subsidiary, still wholly owned by ARR. So WRI is going to be the operating entity in the United States. And our objective is to be able to bring the Cowboy State Mine into production as rapidly as possible. To that end, we've been partnering with the state of Wyoming, fantastically cooperative partners ranging from the University of Wyoming right through to the governor's office and the energy department. As I'm sure you know, we recently did receive a grant from the state of Wyoming for $7 million. That's going to certainly facilitate a lot of our work leading up to the preliminary economic assessment that we're hoping to get finished early next year. And yeah, it's all exciting news. As you can tell, I'm excited.
Yeah, in essence, it really puts the focus on specifically this project when it's in a standalone, so to speak. So it gives an opportunity, I would think, for its own budgets, its own way of doing things. It really has a sort of a saying like, this is the one project we need to work on, and this is what we're focusing on.
100%. I mean, we're actually saying that it's a Wyoming project with Wyoming leadership because we're also very fortunate to have Joe Evers, who has become our president. And he is the man who actually is responsible for the grant that we received. He's a Wyoming native. I just recently found out, as a matter of fact, that he grew up in Casper, which is my every once in a while residence also in Wyoming. And we also hope that this move is going to open the door to more investment by Americans because ARR will continue trading and we're going to continue holding our other properties like La Paz. But by putting WRI separately and making that the entity that's going to manage Halleck Creek, we're hopeful that we'll attract that investor attention and make it easier for Americans to invest in a project that is strategically important for the U.S.
And just reminding everyone, you mentioned that you had done the scoping study and the numbers came out were very positive and only on a small portion of what Halleck Creek is. There seems to be a lot more here that could really lead into the future.
Oh, 100%, Steve. We've basically only begun to understand 25% of the entire area that we have available to work with. And that's why we made this decision to proceed with the Cowboy State Mine as expeditiously as we could, because we have this wonderful opportunity on state land with an incredible partner that's eager to move forward, committed to developing mining in the state to replace a lot of what they might lose over the next decade in terms of coal mining. And, to be able to, at the same time, continue to do some drilling, do some exploration, understand what the rest of our concession looks like, and keep planning for the future as we grow larger and larger.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Mel, thank you so much. Congratulations on this news, and we look forward to our next conversation, okay?
Thanks very much, Steve. All good news.
Good stuff. Mel Sanderson. She is the director of American Rare Earths.